Hello everybody, this is Trustee Wanda Adams. I have the awesome opportunity of serving as president of the Houston Independent School District, which we have over 215,000 students, but I want to welcome you to On the Yard. I'm sitting here and standing here right now with Mr. Glenn Reed, today we had like an awesome community meeting right here at Tinsley Elementary School. And we talked about recapture. So what we want to do is to educate you on what recapture means. HISD is currently in recapture, so there are some consequences on what we're doing for a vote that's coming up on May 6th. Is whether are you for us writing a check or you're against us purchasing attendance credit. Mr. Glenn Reed, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Today we had a very informative community meeting around recapture. What is the most important takeaway message for our parents and our constituents?
Well, I think one of the most important things to understand is that recapture, voting for personal attendance credits, is voting for how we pay recapture. It's not voting on whether or not we are in recapture or not. So it's voting for whether or not we just write a check to the state or whether or not we actually allow the state to come in and take property from us and give them to another school district. So I think that's one of the most important takeaways.
So I'm a constituent and I'm a voter and I want to vote yes. What is that consequence?
So voting yes for personal attendance credits does give the district more ability to fund schools in the future. Yes, we do still pay recapture payments every year. However, as long as property values grow in the district, then we should collect enough property taxes to still make that payment and still have some additional resources each year.
So some people say if I say no, there is a consequence that's called detachment, right?
Correct. So detachment means that we're going to have our property detached, which means that they will no longer write checks to HISD for those school taxes. Those commercial properties will write taxes to another school district and pay them taxes. The other piece of detachment, however, is that the school district loses also the revenue from the dollars we would normally collect to pay back our school taxes. I'm sorry, to pay back bonds. So that's one of the additional consequences of detachment.
So we have whether or not if you want to vote yes or if you want to vote no, it's the consequences of recapture. But there was a question tonight that was very an informative question about, so if detachment happens, will we be able to recoup that revenue of the property value that will be given to Aldine ISD?
Right now, under current law, no. That property would be permanently detached, and we would not be able to get that property back, even if the legislature made changes to our what's called our basic allotment or our wealth level. Unless they make changes to that, we would not be able to claim that property back. It would be all up to the legislature at that point.
Is there anything, Mr. Reed, you would like to add before we close out?
Yes. One other thing I'd like to add is that the vote, whether it's for or whether it's against, if it's for purchasing attendance credits, we will continue to make those payments every year. If it's voting for detachment or against purchase of attendance credits, then they will continue to detach every year. So we don't have to come back every year and get voter authorization every year for whatever was chosen.
But if they vote no, we can come back next year and put it on the ballot again. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
So you've heard the information about recapture, and so we just want to make sure that we bring that information to you. It's a consequence on both sides, whether you vote yes or whether you vote no. For more information on recapture, you can visit us at HoustonISD.org and be able to find out all information about your vote and what's best for you. But the one thing I can say, the common denominator is right here on the yard is keeping kids first. And we need you to help us do that. Remember, this is your HISD Trustee President, Wanda Adams. Thank you for joining us on the yard.